What's up, guys? Welcome to the first Tim's Hot Takes YouTube video. I'm here with my man Stetson Troy Stallworth. You might recognize the voice and name from the first ever THT podcast episode. The time that this video goes live, it'll be a day old, so make sure you check out the podcast. Coming at you with some, March Madness bracket stuff today.
Some hot takes.
Yep. Well, always hot takes. So we'll just start. Top right corner. Duke versus the winner of NC Central and North Dakota State. I think it's a given, right?
Gotta be.
Gotta be Duke. Gotta be Duke. Next up below that, VCU UCF. Those 8-9 games, always really intriguing. I got UCF in this one.
See, I'm going opposite, Tim. And I'm pretty confident about this one. VCU, good defense, good guard play. Recipe for a long March Madness run.
Oh.
Unless you run Duke in the second round.
Right, of course, yeah.
Anyway.
Mississippi State and Liberty. Those 5-12s, always something to keep an eye on. I'm going with the 12 over the 5 upset already. Liberty over Mississippi State. I just think that, Liberty's coming off a hot run in their conference championship tournament. And Mississippi State, I think they're a team that's vulnerable to being upset by a hot team like Liberty.
Tim, I respect you as a person, but not with this pick.
Dang, just 2 out of 3 where I disagree?
Yep. Mississippi State. There it is.
All right.
Hot take.
All right, for the next one, St. Louis, they're a decent team. They've been beat up throughout the year, so I think they're lucky to have gotten into the tournament. But they're still a solid team. I'm still going Virginia Tech, though. I think they've got a really talented team. They're bringing back their star player, Justin Robinson. I think they're ready to play. It's going to be a fun one for Virginia Tech.
I would agree. I'm big on Virginia Tech this year. Usually, they're iffy, but... I think
here's the thing about Virginia Tech, right? They beat Duke early in the year. It was without Zion, but they were without their best player. So it's hard to judge at that point, right?
Right, and the way I look at it is when a team like Virginia Tech plays a team like Duke.
Right.
Duke has all these 5-star recruits, right? They have all these guys.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying, right? That them losing their star player means more than Duke losing Zion. Even though Zion is obviously cleared in a way the best player on that team.
Well,
it is tough to judge from that point. But
I would agree. Yep. But still, round 1, Virginia Tech, poised for a run.
Yep. All right, going down to Maryland versus Belmont or Temple. I've got Belmont beating Temple in the first 4, and then continuing on and beating Maryland in the first round. That Belmont team, I think, they're a talented team who I think are rightly in the tournament, and they can make some noise. And you always see one of those first 4 teams make a little noise in the tournament, so I think Belmont's the one that I'm going to roll with.
And you know what? I'll one-up you. I think Belmont or Temple could beat Maryland. Either
of them can beat Maryland. Maryland's got some good size and they got some good athleticism, but I think Belmont still has a team that can beat them. Temple I'm a little bit more iffy about, but I like Temple in that one. So.
Yeah, but taking the 11. Taking the
11. LSU Yale. LSU's got a lot of drama surrounding their head coach Will Wade. Are you rolling with the Ivies here?
Oh, Tim, I can't tell you how much I wanted to. But they haven't impressed me as much as I would hope. The thing about LSU, the thing about March Madness, the thing about the tournament, there's a formula for success. Now, obviously, it's March.
Right.
Things are going to get mad. But as a general formula, one variable in there is winning close games. Because all these teams are good. The games are going to be close.
Of course, yeah.
Even in a 14-3 matchup. This year, LSU has won close games. Yale has not. That's the difference maker.
And it's going to be even without their head coach, they're extremely talented. I think when it comes down to that, I think you're right. LSU takes it over Yale just based on talent alone. So,
but I think that these are 2 of the more talented teams in that East region.
Oh yeah, I'd agree. LSU, if things shake out for them, I think they can definitely make a run. And if they can get over the hump of having the drama around their coach.
Shoot, and if Yale wins it, send them to the Sweet 16. Why not?
Yeah. All right. Louisville, Minnesota. This is a really intriguing matchup because Rick Pitino, former coach at Louisville, his son is the coach at Minnesota. So he's going to be in their camp, this week, leading up to that game. Louisville, though, really talented team. Let me know who you got.
Tim, let's just say I don't have Louisville. Louisville has lost 8 of their last 12 games. Another formula for success is peaking at the right time. They have not done that. Minnesota, and making a little run after that too.
Again, I'm gonna agree with you. I got Minnesota as well. I think just having the former coach in their ear, even if they're not even if he's not like up to date with what they're doing now, it's like almost a revenge game for them in a way. I think that's gonna play a factor. Minnesota gets the win, and I think you and I both agree Michigan State over Bradley. I would hope.
Yep.
Love that.
Send it to Sparty.
Let's just go through the rest of the East region, and then we'll finish with the Elite Eight, then move on to the West. All right, so Duke UCF. For me, I'm having Duke move on. You have Duke VCU.
Yep, no brainer. LeBron 2.0.
You calling Zion and LeBron 2.0?
Well, I shouldn't say that, but hashtag the chosen one. Hope you're listening, Z.
Zion is tuning in right now. He's a big THT fan, if you didn't know.
Yeah, but we're on that basis where I can call him Z. He calls me Big Head, stuff like that. Anyway.
Liberty, Virginia Tech. I got to go with Virginia Tech. I mean, Liberty, 12 seed. Then they get the upset. You have the hard word. Mississippi State.
I do. But Vatek over him.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a big Virginia Tech guy.
Yeah, and they definitely poised to make a run back with their star player back as well. I have Belmont LSU. You have
Belmont LSU
as well.
LSU advancing. How about you?
I'm riding with Belmont here. I got them going one more. Sweet 16.
I like it.
I
don't hate
team.
it.
Yeah, I think they've got the talent. I mean, so they're obviously not more talented than LSU, but I think they have the team that can match up well.
Yeah.
And it's March, so
it's mad.
Belmont to the Sweet 16, and I got one more for you. The Big Ten has been pretty wild this year. Michigan State, they beat Michigan I think 3 times. Yeah, they beat them 3 times. Twice regular season and in the conference championship game. But man, like I said, it's March, and that Big Ten,
you want to do it,
it's been all over the place. Minnesota versus Belmont in the Sweet 16. Can you ask for any more craziness than that?
Oh my goodness, my heart's racing. So, my thing about the Big Ten, I'm huge on the Big Ten this year. I think we all are.
Yeah, they have the most teams in the tournament. 8 teams compared to the ACC 7. So.
And I think I might have all 8 advancing. There's a possibility. I'd have to go back and check that out. But I have a lot of advancing. But not this one. I'm a big Sparty guy. Big on Michigan State this year. Sending Michigan State to the Sweet 16. They're going to take on LSU.
I definitely think it's going to be a close game. And I think it will go either way for Michigan, Minnesota.
Yeah, I disagree. I think Michigan State, it's going to go one of 2 ways. Michigan State either blows out that team, or Michigan State loses a tough one. But
all right.
But either way.
So let's get down to our Elite Eight for the East region. Virginia Tech, they beat Duke earlier in the year without Zion, but without their own star player. But I think I still got to roll with Duke here now that they're at full strength. I think they're going to be rolling. Just got off the ACC tournament win. I think Duke's going to head to the Elite Eight.
Gotta agree, Tim. It's the Duke effect.
Yep.
It's the Dukies.
Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to have them win the championship, but we'll get back to that.
We'll talk.
So now I'm in a tough spot here, right? Belmont, Minnesota, 2 Cinderellas. Only 1 Cinderella can move on.
Who you got?
I got to do it. I got to do it to him. Belmont. I'm rolling with you guys this year. Belmont, man. Yeah, place in my heart for whatever reason. Just they're the team I'm picking in the first 4. I mean, they play when this releases because it'll be Tuesday. They play in the first 4, which is the next 2 days. I mean, dude, this is gonna break my entire bracket if they lose to Temple.
I'll say if Temple loses first round, you're done. You're busted.
You mean if they win first round? If
Temple
wins
first? Yeah. Dude,
that was caused some problems here, but I gotta believe in Belmont. They're really talented, and I mean,
wisdom of the day: you gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
Exactly, and it's March Madness, so we've had higher seeds, or I guess lower seeds, whichever way we want to look at it, than an 11 make the Final Four before.
Hey,
so
Rick Bird.
Loyola Chicago was 11 last year.
Rick Bird, baby. Shout out Rick Bird.
West Region, Gonzaga versus the winner of Fairleigh Dickinson, Prairie View, A&M. I mean, it's gotta be Gonzaga.
Next pick.
Yep. Syracuse, Baylor, intriguing matchup. Another one of those 8-9s. I'm rolling Syracuse. How about you, Stets?
I'm going Q's, but I'm not big on them this year, but I'm really not big on Baylor. So
right, yeah.
Q's advances.
I mean, Syracuse they made a run last year as an 11, but I agree that I'm not sure if they'll make the same type of run this year as an 8.
You can never count out a team with
Experience like that and a coach like that.
Exactly, and just the program, the tradition. I mean,
Right.
it's Syracuse.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a team that is good. We're not talking about a regular 8 seed.
Right.
We're talking about Syracuse.
Right. They've got a long history behind them.
Exactly.
Winning tradition.
Exactly. So Q's advances.
Yeah, they'll get at least one win in the tournament. I can guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
Marquette Murray State, interesting matchup. John Morant of Murray State versus Marquette's Marcus Howard, two of the best players in the nation, going head to head in the first round.
And Marquette Murray State, two of the best players in the nation.
Exactly. John Morant, Marcus Howard, first round. What more can you ask for? It's March. Who you got though? I'm intrigued to hear this.
Tim, I flipped a coin on this one. Just about. No, I'm picking Murray State. Obviously.
Put it there. John Morant.
I'll give it to
big
you.
fan of John Morant. Marcus Howard is a great player too, but I'm a big fan of John Morant.
I think
I'm going Murray State.
I think he can carry him through the first round. I think he has enough for that.
I think he's definitely. I mean, he's going to be a top 3 draft pick.
Oh, yeah.
Come the NBA draft. I mean, just such a great talent. Marcus Howard is great too, but I think John Morant is able to carry his team a little bit more here in the first round. 12 over 5, you see those a lot. So, moving on to Florida State, Vermont. Florida State, they've looked good recently. They've given Duke trouble. Can Vermont pull off the 13-4 upset, though? I think that's a no, and I'm going to agree with you. I don't think Vermont can do it. We'll see, though, because,
Sorry, fellas.
Because, it's March, and those 13-4s, we'll see one of them every once in a while. I mean,
absolutely.
They're more common than, a 16 over 1.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Florida State on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo versus the winner of Arizona State, St. John's. Neither of which I really think are super deserving to be in the tournament, but just because of the way the field shook out, they're both in. I'm going to roll with Buffalo. They've had a heck of a season, and I think no matter who it is that they face, I think Buffalo is going to take that one.
This was a tough one for me. Just because I really like that Arizona State St. John's matchup, but I think I got too infatuated on the whole Arizona State St. John's thing. You're right. Buffalo's too good. Averaging like 83 points or something like that per game.
Yeah, they've been good on offense for sure.
Yep. Let's do it.
Buffalo
beating
Arizona State. I think Arizona State beats St. John's, and then they face Buffalo, and they'll lose there. Texas Tech, Northern Kentucky, I think it's a pretty easy one for me. Texas Tech, I mean, they've been solid. They had a tough loss against West Virginia in the conference tournament, but, I mean, they're still a really solid team. Jarrett Culver, one of the best players in the nation.
Yep. Texas
They'll get at least the first round win.
Red Raiders.
Nevada, Florida. Nevada's been decent. They've been overrated at times. Florida 19-15, so not a superb record. A lot of close losses in the SEC. I like Florida's defense, and I'm going to roll with them here. Florida over Nevada, the 10 over the 7.
I wanted to pick Florida. I really did. From just looking at it from the outside, I want to pick Florida because Nevada has been inconsistent. And the Mountain West this year is all over the place. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, Utah State won the tournament, and now they're in. We'll get to them later, obviously, but they're in the tournament. It wasn't even Nevada who won their conference tournament.
Exactly, and I think they're sporadic. I think they're a little overrated. I think the Mountain West, who was notoriously good 5 years ago, is on the decline right now. I hate to say it. Hometown UNLV Rebels are in that conference, but I gotta pick UNR just because I don't think Florida's strong enough to take them down. But hint, hint, for the next round, UNR will not be around much longer.
Which means I'm assuming you're having them take Michigan with the next pick.
Yes, I am
against Montana.
And I'm not a big Michigan guy either.
Yeah, I mean they've been a little inconsistent this year too, both them and Nevada. So.
But yes, I'm Michigan first round. I'm even Michigan second round because I have them taking on UNR.
Right.
But
yeah. Well, do you want to fill it in now? Because I also have Michigan beating Florida.
Yep. Let's do it. But again, I think Michigan has the easiest road to the Sweet 16.
They definitely have one of the easier ones, I would say. Yeah. And John Beilein, he always prepares his teams well for tournament, even if they have like a
Yep.
only like a decent season, they're a great tournament team, that Michigan squad.
Mhm.
So we'll just go up from there then. So we start with Michigan. I have Buffalo, Texas Tech, as do you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know who you got. This is going to be a very, very interesting matchup.
The Red Raiders, baby.
Really? Jarrett
Red
Culver?
Raiders.
Red Raiders?
Yep.
I have to agree with you. I strongly consider Buffalo here because they've had such a good season, and they're very, very good on offense. But I think the star power of Texas Tech, and I think that's what gets them through.
Mm-hmm. I have a hard time picking against teams who won, 27, 28, 29 games. Buffalo won 31 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, winners win. But it's Texas Tech. I mean, they've
been one of my sleeper teams
Yep.
to make the Final Four for a while. I'm not going to say that they will make the Final Four here, but
They are as real.
heading into the tournament, before I saw the seedings, I saw them as a team, even after the loss to West Virginia, that they could make some noise in the tournament. So I'm going to take them here over Buffalo.
They are as legitimate of a 3 seed as I think we have.
I'll buy that.
Yep.
Murray State, Florida State, John Morant, great player. I think the road ends here against FSU. I like FSU in this one. They've just been solid all year, and like I said, they've given Duke trouble while they haven't really been able to get over the hump. Still a solid team.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're going with
Yep.
as well?
Retweet.
And then Zags at Syracuse. I'm a big Zags guy. I really think that they can make a run. So I've got them moving on against Syracuse. And like we've said, Syracuse, yeah, they made a run as an 11 last year. I just don't see it happening as an 8 this year.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So given
Zags.
that,
But again, I think if the Michigan has the easiest road to the Sweet 16, Gonzaga has a close second.
I would agree. This Florida State matchup we have them having, though, it's a tough one. It's going to be a tough test for the Zags. I'm still going to roll with them, though. How
Not
about
me.
you?
Not me.
You're going with the Knowles.
Yep.
I respect it. Like I said, solid team all year long. So,
And Gonzaga, I mean, how do you beat a team like St. Mary's by what they beat them, like 43 points or something like that?
by a lot. I mean,
And
by
then
20
you
in the
lose
second
to them in
game.
the tournament. That's just
Here's my
to me,
thing.
that's
Here's
a
my
sign.
thing, right? I think I'm not gonna say Gonzaga was unmotivated because that was kind of the argument used for the Georgia versus Texas game. But I think it's a lot different here because I just think that while Gonzaga was motivated, St. Mary's was fighting for their life. Because St. Mary's was,
absolutely.
if they lose, they're done. I mean, they go to
Absolutely.
NIT probably, but you know what I mean. Like they weren't making the tournament if they lost that game. So I think they're probably about 300 times more motivated than Gonzaga.
Well, absolutely.
And I still love Gonzaga as a team.
I don't know. I think Gonzaga's sporadic. I think they're a little too inconsistent for me. And sometimes you just got a gut feeling.
I'm just
Florida State
a
over
big
Gonzaga.
Rui Hachimura, Brandon Clark. I'm a big fan of those guys. I think they're gonna be solid players that you need to be consistent. And they got good guard play too. That's the kind of thing that you need in the tournament as well. I think when you have a full, when
Right.
you have a full,
I'm with you.
yeah.
I'm with you. Good guard play is recipe for good things in the tournament. But the only Gonzaga team that would have a chance against this Florida State team was 2 years ago when they ended up in the championship game and they had Nigel Williams-Goss. They had the caveman starting at the
No
5.
one really remembers that team because they lost, but they were really good.
Incredible. Zach Collins as the 6th
That's
man.
your boy. That's
my
your boy.
Zach, my guy, I'm giving you a shout out. But I think that was their chance in recent years. And
Really?
sorry to say it, Zach,
Interesting.
it's not Gonzaga's year. Not this year.
So I have the Zags moving on, Zach. So if I ever meet you, just know that I believed in you when your boy didn't. But down below, we both have Texas Tech, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling with the Red Raiders again. Like I said, I've been a fan of them heading in.
Guns up, baby.
Texas Tech, I think they're going to be one of the Elite Eight.
Guns up.
All right, moving on to the South. All right, moving on to the South region. Virginia, they're facing a 16. That's some PTSD for them right there, but I think they're fine this time.
They'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't think history repeats itself
Nope.
with UVA. I got them. So the next matchup, Ole Miss, Oklahoma.
I want to hear what you have to say about this one.
I'm not particularly familiar with either of the teams, but I've seen Oklahoma, and I'm not sold on them. And just because I'm not as familiar with Ole Miss, and I know I'm not sold on Oklahoma, I'm going to pick Ole Miss by default there.
See, I'm going the other way. I'm going Oklahoma, and I'm breaking all my rules to pick the Sooners. Because usually I look for things like wins. I think
Right.
for points per game, stuff like that. I think for who's peaking at the right time. But with that one, I think OU is an exception. I think they have probably the most underrated coach in NCAA basketball, in Lon Kruger. And so I'm going Oklahoma. To be fair, they got knocked out of their tournament early. So
Correct.
I think he's had too long to get that team ready to not get a first-round win.
Right.
So OU in the first round.
Speaking of OU, how about UO? I'm kind of scaring myself because this is the third 12 seed I'm going to have winning. I don't want to get too high on the 12 seeds, but I'm going to pick Oregon because they're red hot. Wisconsin's beat up. I got to go with U of O against Wisconsin, 12 over the 5.
Tim, I have a question for you. Do you speak duck?
Quack.
Quack, quack. Do you know what I just said? On to the next one, baby.
Round of 32.
U of O advancing.
Kansas State, UC Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas State, their
Talk
star,
about it,
their
Tim.
star player, Dean Wade, his status is unknown. If he's playing, I think they're fine. If he's not, I'm going to give it to UCI. And because I don't think he's going to be playing, I think just because he's questionable, I can't make this pick thinking he's going to play. Because if he doesn't, then my pick changes. And of course, there's always a possibility they lose if he's playing. My dad is an alum of UCI. I got to go with the Anteaters. Go Eaters.
Yep. Irvine, baby. Plus, they're playing in Cali.
They are playing in San Jose, so I think that will
These
affect.
Kansas boys have never seen the ocean before. Are you kidding me? They're going to be breathing in salty air.
Yeah.
UC Irvine. Gotcha, baby. Cali love.
Next one's Villanova St. Mary's. St. Mary's, they had that big win against Gonzaga. I have a feeling that because of that big win, they're going to be kind of a letdown here in the tournament. And Jay Wright, Villanova, man, Jay Wright, I have the utmost respect for him because he knows how to get his teams right. It is, I think they're super underrated being at the 6th line because they won the regular season in the Big East and the conference tournament, and they're still below Marquette. It makes zero sense to me. I think they're super underrated. And Jay Wright's ability to turn his role players from last year, Phil Booth, Eric Paschal, into stars for that team now, I just think he's incredible. I think this team is still poised for a great run. I'm going with Nova over St. Mary's.
I'm the same way. I grew up going to that West Coast Conference Championship, where actually Gonzaga lost to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
And I have seen some very, very underrated, some very impressive St. Mary's teams in my lifetime. I'm sorry, this isn't one of them. They
Fair enough.
They made the biggest splash because they upset, possibly one of the best teams in the country, but
Right.
not their best team they've had. They get knocked out in the first round by Villanova.
Right. Next one, Purdue, Old Dominion. This is one of the ones looked at for an upset just because I'm not sold on Purdue's consistency. I think they've been a little bit up and down this year. But Carson Edwards, great athlete. As much as I think it'd be fun to see ODU win, I think I got to go with the favorite here in Purdue.
You know the only thing more dangerous than inconsistently bad is inconsistently good.
Yeah.
That's Purdue, baby. On a roll. Choo choo.
Oh, so you are going with them?
Yep, Purdue,
Okay.
baby.
All right.
Purdue. They're hitting stride right now. Well, I'm predicting it.
You're predicting they're going to hit their stride in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, fair enough. Cincinnati, Iowa. Iowa's like one of those teams where in both football and basketball where they won't be great, they'll be average, they'll be decent, and they'll shock you. However, I think that team in this tournament is actually Cincinnati. So they're facing the them, but better. So I got Cincy moving on, beating Iowa.
And I was up in the air with this one, but like I said before, I like teams that win. Cincinnati won 28 games this year.
And they just won the AAC Conference Championship over a really good Houston team. So.
Exactly. So Cincinnati.
And then Tennessee, Colgate. 15s over 2 have happened before, but yeah, not in this one. I'm a big Tennessee guy, actually, so I'm going to roll with them there.
You know, I'll give Tennessee all the credit. I was a skeptic. I didn't want to like Tennessee but they haven't given me any reason.
I just love watching Admiral Schofield play.
Oh, the guy can ball.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm gonna dunk on you like he did. Oh, dude, all right.
All right, do you want to go bottom up or top bottom?
Your call, Tim. Give me a hot take right now.
All
What's
right.
a hot take in this round?
Oh, you just want me to go with the biggest next hot take we've got here?
He's dropping a hot take. You
How
better
about
go
Nova
first.
over Purdue? Like I said, Jay Wright, big fan. And I think 6 beats to 3. Nova moves on.
I'm also a big fan of Jay Wright, but I'm not a big fan
You
of
also
that
just
take.
said that Purdue's going to go on a run.
Yep.
So,
The
yeah.
Boilermakers. What a mascot.
We'll stay in that section. Cincinnati, Tennessee. Cincinnati, prime team to make the 7-2 upset happen. But like I said, big Tennessee guy. I think they're a very good team. All around, they got players that can just, win games for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they pull it out against Cincy. That's going to be a very tough and physical game, though. I think it's the type of game that Tennessee, with their talent, they can hang in and they'll get the win.
I agree. I have Tennessee advancing there. And then Tennessee, Purdue, for me, you have Tennessee, Villanova.
Right.
But Tennessee, Purdue,
That'd be a good one.
I'm calling it right now, just so everybody here, hears it first. Mom, Dad, people back home, listen in. Tennessee, Purdue, round of Sweet 16. I'm going to put my finger right up in your face right now. That game's going to go to triple overtime.
Wow.
Triple overtime, and
You can bet money on that?
no, not a chance. But Purdue's going to pull it out in triple overtime
Purdue.
over Tennessee.
So it's the Elite 8 for Purdue.
Yep.
I was making my prediction there now, too. Like I said, big Tennessee guy. Bigger Jay Wright guy.
Ah.
Bigger Villanova guy.
All right.
The 6th seed to the
can't hate.
Elite 8.
I can't hate.
So going back up to the top, UVA, Ole Miss, Virginia. Just too talented, I think. And then for me, Oregon, UCI. Let me hear your thoughts on this first.
Big Oregon guy.
They are red hot right now, and I think at that point, just because comes down to talent on the roster. Yeah, Oregon lost Bowl for the season, but they still made the tournament, so obviously still got the talent. I think they beat UCI as well. However, I think UVA blows them out by at least double digits.
Shoot.
Okay, well, not triple digits, but at least 10.
Tim, forget making the tournament. They won their last 8 games.
Yeah,
Going
I'm
into
still
the-
thinking
going
UVA is
into
going to
their
beat them.
tournament.
I still think Virginia's going to beat them.
Nope.
Wow, really? You have a 12 seed in the
Yep.
Elite 8?
Underwhelming.
I mean, I have an 11,
Virginia,
so I can't really say
underwhelming.
anything.
Oregon.
But Oregon, they're definitely one of those teams
Quack, quack.
that can go on a run. Yeah, he's
Quack,
speaking
quack.
duck. He's still speaking duck.
Google
All right,
Translate.
we're going to move on to the Midwest.
On to the next one.
First game in the Midwest, North Carolina, Iona. Filled in, chalk, 1 to the 16.
Tim,
Excuse me, are you picking
Tim.
Iona?
do I have something on my foot?
Oh,
Oh, I have a little bit of tar on my heel. That's what it is. UNC. We're even making the
Just-
1 versus 16 matchups exciting.
go ahead, just say your next pick. I'm going to register that, what you just said, for a sec.
I know you're going to use that one in the future. I want nothing else than to send Utah State to the Final Four. I really do. I'm not going to, but I'm definitely giving them a first-round win.
I'm not. UW. Getting the win.
Utah State is the only Mountain West school that I think has a
Let's
chance.
get back over a little bit.
Oh, I'm taking up too much space. Or what? You don't like my Utah State picks? Now you're just going to kick me out?
UW. Auburn over New Mexico State. I'm not picking every 12 seed. So I got Auburn. They just won the SEC championship, and they weren't expected to. I remember watching one of the games, the announcer's like, man, Auburn just wants to get done with the SEC play. They want to start playing other teams outside the SEC because they've lost a lot of games there, and they just want to see other teams. I'm like, and then they won the SEC. So if they're better outside the SEC than they are in the SEC, and they just won the SEC,
They're hitting their stride.
yeah, they're
What can you say?
red hot, hotter than my hot takes. Honestly,
Ooh,
I
don't know about that.
I don't give that to many people to say that they're hotter than my hot takes, but Auburn,
That's an honor.
Auburn's the one.
That's an honor. War Eagle.
I'm gonna let you go on the next one because Kansas, man.
Nah, just give it to them. Rock Chalk, Jayhawk. They're too much. They're too much. And I looked into this
Gerald
one too.
Vick,
I looked into this one too. They're too much. They're too talented.
Doka
They have too
Azubuike,
many
gone.
ballers. They have too many ballers. Kansas.
I wanted to pick them for the first round upset just because I don't like their team this year. But I don't think Northeastern is a team that's going to get it done. If it was one of these other 13 seeds, like UCI or St. Louis, I think would be a great matchup.
I was going to say, had St. Louis
team against Kansas might have been the team to do it, but not this Northeastern team.
Shoot, St. Louis might have ran Kansas out of the gym this year. But, yeah, not Northeastern. Sorry, fellas.
All right. Iowa State, Ohio State. I really don't know why Ohio State's in the tournament, honestly. So I'm picking ISU because I do not think the Buckeyes deserve to even be in.
And I think that they're going to listen to this video right here.
And then win.
And get
they're
all...
They're going to be that team
yeah.
that's like...
They're gonna.
We shouldn't even be here, but we're going to win like 4 games anyway. Maybe not 4, but...
Yep, I'm with you, though.
Oh, you're going to...
Well, actually, I'm not with you.
Oh. Yeah,
Ohio State. Ohio State.
Houston, Georgia State. I think Houston's too talented. I'm going to fill them in there. Do you disagree?
People of Earth. Hot take, Tim. And Tim Tebow. I hope you're all listening.
Right, Tim Tebow too.
Because you heard it here first. Georgia State. Georgia State. With those boys shooting the 3 like nobody's business. Forget Tim's hot takes. Tune into Stetson's hot takes.
Hey.
Georgia State,
Calm
baby.
down.
I'm getting amped up.
Calm down. Calm.
Who does that? Who picks that?
Apparently
This guy. They're hot, baby. Hey, look at this. Look at this form. Look at this form. That's
with the left, too, really.
dude.
James
Georgia
Harden.
State.
James Harden.
You're gonna hear that name again, by the way.
Okay, let's just move on. Wofford, Seton Hall, Miles Powell, great player. He's underrated too, but I like Wofford's 3-point shooting. I think 3-point shooting is one of the things that can really affect the game in the tournament because if you just start raining in the threes, you're gonna expand your lead so quickly.
You can beat anybody.
I like.
So
is that foreshadowing? Never mind.
Exactly. So why can't you get on board the Georgia State? They shoot the 3 ball like nobody's business.
Because I think Houston's that good.
And I think they're not. Sorry, fellas.
Anyway, I have Kentucky beating Abilene Christian. Even though, Abilene Christian would be fun to see win, but they're not going to. It's Kentucky.
Yeah.
North Carolina, I have them facing UW. I have them facing Utah State. I'll go chalk here. UNC, moving on. You have them beating Utah State.
Yep, UNC.
Auburn, Kansas, like I said, I don't like Kansas. If I liked the team they were playing more in the 4-13 matchup, I would have had them upset there, but I don't think Northeastern's the team to do it. But Auburn definitely is. Auburn is very talented. I haven't beaten Kansas.
And I think that Auburn-UNC matchup in the Sweet 16 could be
It's going to be one to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be one to watch.
Definitely.
Iowa State, Houston. Like I said, I thought Houston was too good for Georgia State. Iowa State, they're pretty hot right now. And here's what I like, folks, is the teams that are hot coming into the tournament. Teams that just racked off a bunch of wins. And that's Iowa State. Houston lost the AAC championship. This is tough for me to do because, like I just said, I really like teams that are hot, but I think Houston pulls it out just because, yes, Iowa State's hot. They've also been inconsistent all year.
And I have the complete...
This was a really tough one for me, but I'm going to go Houston.
I have the complete opposite matchup. I have Ohio State, Georgia State. Give me Georgia State, baby. Give me Georgia State. You know what their mascot is?
Tell me.
The Pounce. They're going to pounce all over the Buckeyes. Georgia State to the Sweet 16.
I mean, this is the content
Throw my pen everywhere.
you guys came for. So,
Hot takes.
Wofford, Kentucky. I want to pick Wofford because of their 3-point shooting.
Do it.
Kentucky's a blue blood, and everyone expects them to win this game.
Blue blood. They're going to have a blue butt after this one because Wofford.
But I ain't called Tim's hot takes for no reason.
Yes.
Wofford, just raining in the threes.
Give it to me.
Wofford moves on, beats Kentucky, because why not?
You know Wofford's point differential this year, 18 points.
Wow. I mean, I don't
And
think
when
it'll be
they're-
that against Kentucky. It'll probably be.
It'll
about
probably be
half.
19. Oh,
Be lucky to be half.
I got Wofford
But-
though.
Splash, splash,
Wofford.
splash. Wofford.
That's it for the
So
Elite Eight?
we've got an interesting look here because we have UNC Auburn, which is going to be a great game, and Houston Wofford for me. Wow, that'd be fun to watch too. Wait, did you pick Wofford as well, or did you pick Kentucky?
Dude, I'm picking Wofford right there in the round 32.
Are you ready for both of us to have Wofford in the Elite Eight? Do you want to do this? Let's do it. Wofford, Elite Eight, 7
Do
seed.
it.
Why not?
Now, you have them over, is it Iowa State, correct?
No, Houston.
You have them over Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I have Wofford over Georgia State. I think,
That's a much better matchup for them. I think they'd rather see Georgia State than Houston.
well, absolutely, but I think both teams are going to get hot. But I
It's
think,
gonna be like one of those 100 games in regulation in college basketball. Is that what we're gonna see? Just 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
you know, I think Wofford stays hot. I think they stay Timmy's hot takes hot.
Mm.
And I think Georgia State cools off, only drops like 55 points.
Oh.
Sorry, fellas. I'm off the pounce. Wofford.
I also have Auburn beating UNC because UNC's a 1 seed, but even though I went against it, that logic against Iowa State, Auburn red hot, very good team, and I mean if they can do that to the SEC teams they face when they weren't expected to, man, I think you always see at least one seed go down before the Elite Eight. It seems like you rarely have all 4 make it to the Elite 8.
Mhm.
I think UNC is the one that falls before we reach the Elite 8. I think it's Auburn. Auburn's the most likely team that they would see to do it because I don't think Kansas does it. I don't think either of the 8 or 9 does it. I think Auburn would be the team that would beat North Carolina.
You know, we talked about that UNC-Auburn matchup, but UNC is going to be too much. I mean,
I don't think so, though. I think Auburn UNC likes
they're
to
a
play
great team.
fast. UNC likes to play fast, and Auburn is the team that can match that because they play just as fast. So I think a lot of tempo, a lot of transition game, but I think Auburn can do it.
I think the ball just bounces UNC's way in that one.
And like I said, I gave Auburn the hotter than my hot takes privilege.
You
I can't
gotta
go
do
against
it.
them here.
Got him win the Natty.
We'll get back to that. All right, we're gonna move on to the elite. We're gonna move on to the final 4 up on the board. Get ready. All right, so we've come up to the whiteboard to finish our final 4 and crown our champs. Let's start with the East region. Duke, Belmont for me. Duke, Michigan State for you. I'll let you go first since you're kind of the guest, right?
Sparty.
Oh,
Sparty.
boom! Duke goes down.
Give it to me. I think Duke is going to have a real problem. They just haven't been the Duke team that they should be. This Duke team, their first
They
5.
should have gone undefeated with the talent they have.
They
Yes,
really
I got
should've.
hurt, but
Yes, Zion got hurt, but they're not as deep as past Duke teams.
right, their
anyway.
bench is not great and their shooting is not great. So I agree with you that if it's Michigan State that they see, I think that Michigan State does beat them.
I'm going to MSU.
However, I've been playing Belmont, and Belmont, they're my Cinderella in this one. 11 to Elite 8. I got to give it to Zion and the Dukies on this one, though, in the final 4. Tough one for me because I want to see Duke lose, but I think they make it to the final 4. From the East, the West, I have Gonzaga, Texas Tech. You have Florida State, Texas Tech. What do you got in the final 4?
Red, hot, red Raiders, baby.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. A big TT. It's not for Tim's hot
I got the
takes,
Zags.
it's for-
They've been my team for a while coming into tournament. They're just a team that I've always felt can make a run. They're just so talented with Rui Hachimura, Brandon Clark. I mean, I got to put them in the final 4. I like them. So
I mean,
I
they
know
win.
after all that I've had going on, I've got 2 1 seeds, but trust me, it'll change.
I mean, they win.
Yeah, they do.
What about
South. I have Virginia, Villanova. You have Oregon,
Oregon, Purdue.
So we're polar opposites there.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this. I don't know who's gonna play.
You know what the BM stands for? The Boilermakers.
Purdue to the final 4.
Purdue to the Final Four, baby.
Over the Quacks.
Purdue. Yes, huh? I'll throw that up there for you. The Purdue Boilermakers.
Like I said, I've got Virginia, Villanova, and I ain't putting another 1 seed up there. You know what that board gonna be? Duke, Gonzaga, Virginia. Jay Wright and the Villanova Wildcats, they get back to the Final Four again. This time as a 6 seed. Big Jay Wright fan.
And they've killed it the last few years, right? They've done their
2 of the last 3 national champions.
But I don't know. I don't
it is a different team. It is a different team. Yeah. But I just think his ability to
it's a huge difference
to bring up
it's a
the
huge
role players
maker.
as to become star players, and I think they have the side of the bracket, or at least the corner of the bracket, that they can make it to the Final Four with. I think they can do that.
Yep.
Midwest, Auburn, Wofford for me.
UNC Wofford.
Is he gonna do it?
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh!
The Terriers run.
Is this your first 1 seed?
Year.
This is your first 1 seed. You have to have at least one seed in there, right?
My first 1 seed, UNC. It's UNC, man. They win traditionally. They are winners. They're not gonna lose to Wofford.
Here's my thing. Wofford, like we said, great 3-point shooter, shooting team, and if that runs out, then that can spell doom for a team. And I think they got through Seton Hall with it. They got through Kentucky with it. They beat Houston with it. But Auburn, I think, if they can just defend against the 3-point shooting, get Wofford off their game, Auburn's going to run up and down that court. Give me 2 quick.
Auburn in the Final Four.
Final Four for me.
SEC
Auburn.
team in the Final Four.
Yeah, I know.
Not named Kentucky.
Why not?
Wow.
Auburn in the Final Four.
Wow. All right. Check it out.
Let's see.
Very different looking.
Very different, yeah. It pains me to have written that, honestly, because I mean, Duke's kind of like the Patriots of college basketball almost. It's just a team that like why are they winning again?
Anyway, yep.
Want to see them lose, but
and again, the Taurus says UNLV fan. We're not supposed to like Duke, right?
Right. I mean, I'm not UNLV fan, but you know.
Tim, let me ask you a question. 1990, who won the national championship?
I was -9 years old, so I don't know.
UNLV Running Rebels. You know who they beat? The Duke Blue Devils. You know how much they beat them by? I'll give you a hint. The biggest margin in NCAA national championship history.
Was that the Running Rebels undefeated year?
Yep.
Nice.
Beat the Duke Blue Devils by 30 in the national championship.
I would not mind seeing that happen again.
But
of course, because they have to make the championship again. I'm gonna get to that. You go first.
Shoot, the only team this year that UNLV could beat is the Blue Devils. But so Michigan State, Texas Tech. Texas Tech runs into a brick wall right here. Sparty.
Cassius Winston, he's special, man. Their point guard.
Sparty.
Duke Gonzaga. I ain't going Duke. Give me Rui Hachimura. Give me Brandon Clark. Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Oh.
In the strip.
Oh, man. Good for you. Good for you. I could see Gonzaga lose to a 16 seed. You didn't hear it from me. What about on that side? Villanova Auburn.
You want to go first?
No. I want to hear yours. I want to hear what this man has to say.
Like I said, big Jay Wright fan.
Oh my gosh. If you say Jay Wright's name one more time,
but
I'm walking out that door.
There's a but. There's a but here, okay?
All right.
Very rarely do I give the honor of giving a team hotter than my hot takes honor. This is a tough one.
Tim, I'm about to take off my shirt and jump out the window.
The Auburn Tigers. How did we get here? Gonzaga Auburn. That'd be fun, though. You have to admit that'd be fun.
It'd be fun, but
that's gonna be an up-tempo game.
Let's just say everybody but the common fan will hate this. The sports books will hate it. Nobody will be betting. Duke, UNC, Michigan State.
All the guys at ESPN will be like, well, we didn't see this coming.
Exactly. The TV ratings people hate it.
What?
Ain't nobody from Alabama gonna watch this compared to all the Duke and UNC fans around the country.
I bet people from Alabama don't even know who Gonzaga is.
Exactly. So, dude,
I'll watch it and it'll be fun.
I'll watch it too. But that ain't happening. UNC Michigan State national championship game. Very, notorious programs. I mean, it's gonna be a somewhat traditional year in the national championship. UNC, Michigan State, and two teams that they may not have been the best in the field, but
court.
combined with how good they are. Court, same thing. Court, field.
We play football, so.
Yeah, I'm talking about Zion Williamson going to play tight end at Cal Lutheran University. These teams may not be the best two teams in the field, but
it worked out that way. And you don't always get the best two teams. So.
Exactly. And so I think this is the way it's going to play out. Whoa, hold on. Does everybody see that? Everybody see that? A little bit of tar on my heel.
Gosh, why'd you bring that back?
A little bit of tar on my heel. That's what I'm talking about. UNC, baby.
You just want to crown your champ then?
I do. Let me,
You scraped that tar off yet?
Tim. The tar is alive and well.
Oh, man!
UNC.
Wow.
Triple underline it, circle it, put a box around it, and a big fat star. But I think it's going to be a really close national championship game, as they always are.
I'm just going to write mine down. You can keep talking.
Go ahead, write it down. Let's see what happens. Oh.
Go Zags, baby. Like I said, I don't give the honor of hotter than my hot takes very often. I did give Auburn that. I brought them all the way to the championship as a 5 seed. Zaga gets the win. I'm just a big fan of what they have in terms of personnel. Mark Few's a great coach. This is the year. Gonzaga Bulldogs. Book it.
Tim, I'm taking off my other shoe. I'm throwing it across the room. I'm taking off my
You good? Okay, so Stetson just had a little bit of an episode there after I said book it.
Gonzaga's out in the
For
first
the
round,
Zags.
mark my words.
I mean, you didn't put that, but doesn't matter. I have Gonzaga winning it all. You have North Carolina winning it all. Both have 1 seeds in the end, even after all the madness that we went through. Both have 1 seeds pulling it out.
It was madness.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what team you think is going to pull it out, what upsets you want to see, and you know, of course, give us your hot takes. Always appreciate those. Last thing, use the code THT40 at sleeves.com for 40% off your first purchase. Football season's coming, and even though we're talking basketball,
It's always football season.
exactly. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe. Stay hot, everybody.